J-Start, jumpstart your Japan career. Welcome back to another episode of J-Start. This is Kelvin. I landed in Haneda jobless 15 years ago and went on to become Amazon HR as well as head of talent acquisition for Walt Disney Company Japan. Today, I coach mid-career professionals how to land their first job in Japan. In this episode, Viran from UK talks about his first corporate job in Japan, long hours of work, how he navigated through difficulties, and upped his career despite not speaking Japanese. Hear what he has to say, and if you need coach that will help you up your performance in Tokyo, here's your guy. Check out the episode. By the way, if you missed part one, he talks about how he got his first job in Japan with no Japanese. The link is on the upright. Enjoy. How difficult was it for you when you made a transition from working at the Olympic Committee to having a full-time job at a PR agency? So what was the first year like?
The first year was difficult, I think, because it was a new industry for me and I didn't really know what a good job looked like. And it was also the first time I've been in the private sector. I'd never had a corporate job before.
Right, because you were a teacher back home.
Yeah, and the Olympics was also public sector.
Right.
So it was, and the Olympics was quite funny because the first time I worked, it was at the Shinjuku TMG, the government building, and at 6 p.m. the lights go off. It means
Right. So
go home.
6 p.m. No overtime, just go home.
Yeah,
right.
but I mean, people stay in the dark.
Okay.
The lights go on later.
Okay.
But then most
That's Japan for you right there.
and they also turn the aircon off as well.
Okay.
And I think that's been like a thing in all of the offices I've been in. At a certain time, they turn the aircon off.
All right.
And it's to sort of like dissuade you from staying on overtime.
Yep.
So, but that first year, I mean, compared to teaching in England,
Yep.
I was working at really long hours. I would get up at like 5 a.m.
Wait, are you talking about the Olympic Committee or the
No,
first PR job?
So I'm talking about just in England.
Mhm.
When I was working, I was used to waking up at 5
Yep.
and then working till like late at night.
Yep.
So when I went to the Olympic Committee, it was technically an internship, right?
Right,
So it
right.
was like 9 to 5.
Yep,
I was
yep.
out. The first job, it was like, okay, and I need to get back into I need to learn the industry. I need to show that I'm doing a good job. I need to figure out what a good job looks like. And so I was working, I would say like 9 to 9 at least. Probably 12 hours in the office.
Oh wow, that's a lot of hours. Aside from long hours, what were some of the other challenges that you faced?
At work, I think...
And I'm talking about your PR
yeah,
job.
I think it was the idea of efficiency. I think there's a lot of things where... So PR is a general industry in consulting. You bill by hours.
Okay.
So depending on how many hours you worked, that's what you charge the client.
And what type of clients did you work with?
So at that first agency, it was mainly government organizations.
Okay.
And then as
The Japanese government.
and then as I progressed in my career, I branched out into more corporate communications, working with either Japanese companies that want to communicate internationally or international companies that want to come to Japan.
Right.
But when you bill your hours, you basically say, I spent an hour doing this, and you put it on a sheet, and that's what the client pays for.
Gotcha.
And for me, it was the difference between someone that's used to working fast and efficiently, where it might take me like an hour to write a press release,
Right.
whereas the standard for the company might be, it takes us 4 hours to write a press release. And that was really difficult for me to sort of get used to and accommodate.
Okay. Was there a language barrier? Oh, wait, actually, let's talk about the nationality of companies you work for. So, 8 years in PR, how many companies?
3 different companies.
3 different companies. What were the nationalities of the companies?
Swedish, British, and American.
Oh, wow. You got the whole United Nations there. All right. And were there any differences that you felt in terms of the language use, the percentage of non-Japanese employees present in the office, and the culture?
I think whether it was Swedish, British, and American, it really didn't matter. The parent country didn't matter as much as the employee makeup.
Okay.
And there were some agencies that I was at where there were like 1 or 2 different foreigners, and everyone else was Japanese, even though it was a foreign company. And then that was probably the most challenging situation for me.
And of course, the common office language was Japanese, right?
Yeah, I think between people it was Japanese, but I always made like I speak English,
Right.
and but I understand Japanese. So like normally, someone would talk to me in Japanese, and the roles that I had, they were bilingual roles, right? So if a Japanese person was talking to me in Japanese, they still understood English. So they were just talking their language, and I was talking my language, and we understood each other.
So they were comfortable for you to do that. Okay, interesting.
I did it with clients as well, actually.
Okay.
I made that quite clear with clients that I was happy for them to speak Japanese, but I would be responding in English.
Interesting. Did you ever receive a complaint from a client because of that?
No, never.
Never.
There were definitely pushbacks in terms of like going for a job interview or with recruiters when I would say things like that.
There you go. This is a big thing. So we started with minimal Japanese, communicating in English. And were you the only non-Japanese employee in the office at the first company?
No, there was always at least one other.
At least one other. Okay. But just like the two of you, and that was about it. All right. And what were the sizes of these companies?
So the first one I'd say is about 40 people.
All right.
The second one was like it started with 5.
Yeah.
When I left, it was 12.
Okay.
And then the last one was like maybe there were like 100 desks at the beginning, and then it ended with like 20 desks.
And what happened there?
Corona and
COVID.
just like I would say management issues.
All right. You said about changing jobs, and when you say recruiters, these are not the recruiters for those working at those companies, but at a staffing agency or recruitment agency, right? And what were some of the things that you heard from them when you tried to change jobs and about your language situation?
Well, it's weird because I've never actually found a job for a recruiter.
Okay.
Every job I got, it was an invitation to join the company from someone that worked there.
How did you know them?
Just the industry, just being visible in the industry, going to events, getting my name known.
So it's kind of like they PR industry people working for agency side, they know each other, who's who. Okay.
Also on the in-house side as well, I've been offered a few interviews with like former clients.
Okay.
And I've obviously done interviews with recruiters, but I've never followed through on any of them to actually land a job with any recruiter.
Understood. But I mean, to me, it's me having recruited for Amazon and me having recruited for the healthcare industry as an agency recruiter. There definitely is a sentiment that like the bilingual ability is appreciated when Japanese is native, and the person, in addition to that, speaks English. So it made you stand out above other candidates that these people at the next companies wanted to have you on board versus having a Japanese person who's fluent English. What made you stand out?
I just don't think there's many foreign. This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I don't think there's many like. So I went to Oxford University.
Yep.
And I don't think there's many Oxbridge or like Ivy League candidates in Japan.
So you're saying the education.
I think so. I feel like that's been my golden ticket to most of my jobs.
All right. That's a good lesson right there. And so at the end of 8 years, why did you decide to depart and do your coaching business?
So I took a paternity leave when my son was born in 2022. I took a year off because that's what you're entitled to in Japan, and why not? And just during that year, I thought, look, PR wasn't the industry that I wanted to be in. Yeah. And I wanted to do something else that was more aligned with like my own values.
All right.
I had, during my time in PR, tried to get back to like giving to communities by like volunteering with like charities like Hands on Tokyo.
Right.
I had been I had my own community in terms of a football club.
Yep.
And then I had done the Tell Lifeline.
Okay.
So it's like a suicide lifeline for foreigners in Tokyo.
Yeah, you told me about the last time, I remember.
And then that one in particular, the training was really good, but like doing the calls, you can't really like ask any questions or like give any advice.
Okay.
And I found that very limiting. So for me, it didn't gel with me well. But when I found out what coaching was, I quite liked that. You're not giving advice, but you're asking questions to move into a direction.
Right. You're not telling the person what to do, but letting them realize the direction that they want to head to.
Yeah, if it's pure coaching, then you're basically just you're just asking questions and then and helping someone figure out what the next best step for them is.
All right.
And I like the idea that the conversation is leading somewhere. Whereas I think with the lifeline, you're basically just being a pure mirror and just saying, look, I hear you and I appreciate you, and you know, there's a reason that you're in the world on this earth.
All right, awesome. I'm going to ask you more questions about work, but let's shift gears and talk about life outside of work.